I was born into a family that had nothing except determination. Our small house stood at the very end of a dirt road. Every rainy season, that road turned into thick mud, slippery and unforgiving. If you wanted to leave the house, you had to roll up your pants and move carefully, one step at a time. My childhood was filled with early mornings before sunrise, the sound of a broom sweeping the yard, and the sharp sting of wood smoke rising from the kitchen fire. We were poor. Not just we didn't have much poor, but the kind of poor where every school payment meant my parents had to sit down and calculate for hours. I remember once seeing my mother stare silently at a worn-out notebook filled with expenses, while my father sat outside, smoking quietly in the dark. No one said anything, but I could feel the weight in the air. I used to ask myself why I wasn't born into a better-off family, why I had to worry about things other kids never even thought about. But eventually, I realized something powerful. My circumstances were not my fault, and they were not my life sentence. I didn't get to choose where I was born, but I could choose how I was going to live. There are things only someone who has been poor truly understands. It's the feeling of going to school and dreading the day they collect fees. It's watching your classmates show up in new clothes while you pretend you don't care. It's wanting to join an activity but quietly stepping back because you know you can't afford it. I was ashamed sometimes. I felt small. I remember one time my class was planning a trip. Everyone was excited. I stayed quiet. I said I didn't really feel like going. But the truth? I wanted to go more than anything. I just didn't want to be a burden. Those feelings built up inside me, but instead of breaking me, they fueled me. I made a promise to myself. One day, I will never have to step back because of money again. I used to believe that if you worked hard enough, success was guaranteed. But life isn't that simple. When I failed an important exam, I was crushed. I had studied for months. I had sacrificed sleep, comfort, everything. And still, it wasn't enough. Holding that result in my hands felt heavy. I started doubting myself. Maybe I wasn't smart enough. Maybe I was just trying in the wrong direction. I even considered giving up on my big dreams. Maybe I should choose something safer, something easier. But then I asked myself, if I stop now, what was all that effort for? That failure didn't kill my dream. It strengthened it. I learned to stand back up. I learned that success rarely comes after one attempt. When I left my hometown for the city, I carried hope with me. But the city taught me lessons no textbook ever could. Taught me that life is tough, that nobody cares how hard you try. They care about what you can deliver, that if you aren't strong, you'll be left behind. In the beginning, I lived in a tiny rented room. In the summer, it felt like an oven. In the rainy season, it smelled damp and heavy. I counted every dollar. Some months, I calculated meals just to make it through. I worked non-stop. Day jobs, night study, side gigs. There were nights I came back so exhausted I just wanted to collapse and forget everything. But I never forgot my goal. There was a period when I hit real crisis. Unstable work, money running out, pressure building, couldn't sleep. My mind was constantly racing. I would sit alone in the dark, asking myself if I was chasing the wrong dream. I watched people around me succeed faster. They had connections. They had support. I had to build everything from scratch. I felt alone in a city of millions. There were days I wanted to go back home. At least there I wouldn't be fighting alone. At least there I wouldn't have to struggle every single day like this. But then I remembered those moments of shame from my childhood. I refused to live a life full of what if. One day, I realized something that changed everything. No one is coming to save me. If I don't change myself, nothing changes. So I stopped comparing. I stopped complaining. I focused on what I could control. I upgraded my skills. I learned more. I read more. I observed successful people and studied their habits. Just a little every day. I didn't look for applause. I looked for progress. And slowly, I felt the shift. Opportunities don't arrive loudly. They come quietly, disguised as a small offer, a modest project, a slightly better job. The old version of me might have hesitated, but this version was ready. I said yes. I gave it everything. I stopped working just to finish tasks. I worked to grow, and gradually things changed. Income improved, relationships expanded, confidence grew. I no longer saw myself as the weak one in the room. One day, I went back to my hometown. The dirt road was still there. The house was still the same. But I wasn't. I wasn't just a kid with dreams anymore. I was someone who acted on them. When I looked at my parents, I saw something different in their eyes. Less worry, more peace. That moment made every struggle worth it. Many people think success is money, but to me, success is freedom. Freedom from constant financial fear. Freedom to pursue what I believe in. Freedom to support the people I love. Success is no longer being trapped by your starting point. And the best part? It didn't come from luck. It came from persistence. If I had to name the single most important lesson in my journey, it would be this. Never underestimate the power of refusing to quit. You don't have to be faster than anyone else. You just have to keep going. Maybe you start lower. Maybe you take longer. Maybe you fail more times. But if you continue, you arrive. When I look back now, I no longer see my hard days as pain. I see them as foundation. Scarcity taught me gratitude. Failure taught me patience. Loneliness taught me strength. Without those seasons, I wouldn't be who I am today. If you're tired, if you feel like you're not enough, if you're thinking about giving up, I've been there, and I didn't quit. Not because I'm special, not because I'm smarter than others, but because I understood something. If you push just a little more today, tomorrow changes. One small step every day is still forward. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. You just need to not stop. I'm still moving forward, still setting new goals, still learning, still growing, because life isn't a short sprint. It's a long journey, and I choose to walk it with everything I have. I rose from a place where no one believed in me. I was doubted. I failed. I almost gave up, but I didn't, and that decision changed my life. If you're at your lowest point right now, remember this. The lowest point is often the launching point. You can start from zero. You can be underestimated. You can fail repeatedly, but if you keep going, you evolve. I am proof of that, not because I'm extraordinary, but because I refuse to stop. Life doesn't always move upward in a straight line. Even after I found stability, everything could still fall apart. There was a time I became overconfident. I believed I was strong enough. I invested time, money, energy into something I was certain would succeed. At first, it looked promising. Then problems surfaced. Unexpected costs. Risks I didn't anticipate. Decisions made too quickly. In a short time, I lost nearly everything I had saved. That pain cut deeper than being poor. Because this time I had something and lost it. I blamed myself. I felt embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to know. I even thought, maybe I'm not built for big things. But then I realized, failing while climbing doesn't send you back to the beginning. It sends you back with experience. And experience is more valuable than money. After that fall, I changed. I became humble. I stopped rushing. I stopped trying to prove myself. I focused on building solid foundations. Sustainable growth matters more than fast growth. I asked more questions before acting. I listened to people who knew more. I accepted that I didn't know everything. Humility didn't shrink me, it strengthened me. If there's one thing that truly transformed my life, it wasn't luck. It wasn't talent. It was discipline. Discipline to wake up when no one forced me. Discipline to work when no one watched. Discipline to learn when no one praised me. Some days I didn't feel motivated. Some mornings I felt drained. But I acted anyway, because motivation fades. Discipline carries you. I built habits little by little. Waking up earlier, focusing deeper, reducing distractions. Small improvements compound over time. And after years, they create massive separation. I once struggled with feeling not enough. Not smart enough, not successful enough, not perfect enough. I thought I needed to hit some milestone before I could feel proud. But I realized my worth isn't in my achievements. My worth is in the fact that I didn't give up. I learned to respect myself, not because I was flawless, but because I survived the battles that once nearly broke me. When you accept yourself, you stop chasing validation. You work for your goals. You build for your future, and that's real freedom. Now, I share my story with people who are struggling. I see myself in their eyes, and I realize my journey isn't just about me. It's about proof. Proof that starting small doesn't mean staying small. Success isn't one giant moment. It's consistent improvement. It's becoming better than yesterday. It's facing fear instead of running from it. And I'm still in that process. If I could speak to my younger self, I'd say, don't fear the hard days. They're shaping you. The disrespect won't last forever. The failures won't define you. The tears will one day become strength. The future is brighter than you think if you stay patient. If you feel exhausted right now, you don't have to win today. You just have to not quit today. Life sometimes feels like walking through fog. You can't see far ahead. But if you keep moving, the fog clears. Faith isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just a small spark. Protect it. Feed it with daily action. You don't need 100% certainty. You just need enough belief to take the next step. I'm not at the top of a mountain. I'm still climbing. Still facing challenges. Still chasing bigger goals. Still overcoming fear. But the difference is, I know I can survive. Life doesn't reward the smartest. It doesn't reward the luckiest. It rewards the ones who persist. And I choose to be one of them.